What's your favorite part about ice hockey?
I have a lot of favorite parts about hockey. The games are probably the most fun. I like the team atmosphere, the camaraderie between the guys and the coaches and everything. So I can't really pick one specific
Yeah.
thing. Maybe playing a game and scoring goals is if I were to have to pick, would be probably one of them.
Do the fans impact the way you play?
I think so. I think the louder and more into the game the fans are, the more energy and the probably the harder we play.
That's us. Why are the fans important to you and the team?
Like I said, I think the more they're into the game, the more we feel involved in the game and gives us that extra boost to play hard and to finish out games and it's also hard on the other team as well when you come into a loud building and you have fans from the other side booing you and cheering on the other team. It's definitely hard to play in that environment.
Yeah. Fourth.
What's your mindset during a game?
I don't know. I'm pretty to myself before the game, getting ready. I'm kind of in my zone, and once the game starts, it's just another hockey game. Don't really try not to think too much about the systems or the game, and then go out there and just play off of instinct and what you've been practicing for this season and previous seasons.
Who's the NHL player that makes you work harder?
Makes me work harder. Well, I mean, there's guys I definitely look up to and try to pattern or model my game after. I think the obvious one is Sidney Crosby, Jonathan Toews. Those two are some of the best players in the world, and if you could just do some of the things they do on a daily basis, you're going to be pretty successful.
When did you start playing hockey?
I started playing at about 8 years old. After my first grade teacher introduced me to the game, so I started playing in second grade.
How does it feel being a part of the team?
Here with the Phantoms?
Yeah.
It's great. It's a really good, close-knit group. The fans are great. The arena is awesome. The city is great. So don't really have any negative things to say about the team other than hopefully we could string together a few more wins and get into playoffs.
Who or what inspired you to play?
Like I said earlier, it was my first grade teacher actually. She had posters of Steve Yzerman and Nicholas Lidstrom in her classroom, and I didn't know what hockey was at the time. So, growing up a Detroit kid, it's kind of hard to believe, but she was definitely the one that got me involved, and I actually kept in touch with her all the way through college, and she came and watched me play at one of my college games, so it was pretty cool.
What's a goal that you've set this season to make your play better?
I don't really have individual goals in terms of points or goals or and assists or anything like that. I just try to improve as the season goes on. So 5-game segments I look at and see how the team is doing and if I can help in any way, whether it's score a big goal or block a shot. That's kind of my role and that's what I'll do to help the team win.
Who's your favorite player to watch?
That's a tough question. Growing up
Yeah.
was probably Steve Yzerman. He was definitely my favorite player growing up.
Where's your favorite place to play?
Favorite place to play, other than here, of course. It's probably the Bell Center in Montreal. It's a really good atmosphere. There's a lot of fans. It's loud. I like the anthem. It's the Canadian anthem is half French and half English, so it's pretty cool. You got the whole crowd singing it, so it's just a fun atmosphere.
Who's your biggest rival?
Oh, either the Bears or the Penguins.
Knew that.
Yeah, so we get the Penguins twice this weekend.
Yep, we'll be there.
All right.
Okay, I'm doing this one. If you could be paired up in a band with a teammate, who would it be and why?
Well, I would have to say Lashoff, although he's not with us anymore. He's great. He's a great musician. He plays the guitar very well. He's got a good voice, and I would just be the dancer or something because I can't play an instrument or sing. So it would have to be him.
What was the hardest part about hockey growing up?
I think learning to skate. I think I was always pretty gifted with the puck and the stick, but I started hockey at a relatively older age, which kind of sounds funny when you say you started at 8 and that's old, but in the hockey world it is kind of old. It was learning to skate for me. I thought was the biggest challenge, but I guess hard work and a lot of hours helped that.
What do you do in your fun time?
Watch shows, movies, cook dinner. I probably cook dinner, almost every night. Hang out with teammates.
This one, how?
How do the fans in the juniors compare to the fans now?
Well, there's not as many. There weren't as many fans in junior or in college hockey as there are now. Although they were smaller rinks and it was pretty loud and good atmospheres there. When it's a sold out rink here in Allentown, it's pretty fun playing in front of.
What's the most embarrassing moment you had at a game?
One of my first NHL games, the team let me go out for warm-ups by myself, and I was skating around and no one was on the ice with me, so it's pretty embarrassing.
Well, thank you. That's all we have.
Actually,
Yeah.
I've got a quick one. You were in KHL the past 2 years?
Past year.
Past year.
hmm
What do you find the difference between AHL and KHL is?
It's so hard to compare. They're both good leagues. I would say the high-end skill is probably a little bit better in the KHL. The ice size makes the game very different. So it's really hard. Like people ask what league is better. It's hard to say. There's superstars in that league on an international level, and there's obviously very good players in this league as well. But you can't. It's really hard to compare
Hard
the
to
two.
compare 'em.
Yeah.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah.